I've got 8 player props for this 8 game slate, but I'm also dropping a same game parlay I'm personally playing later in the video. It didn't make the thumbnail, so make sure you stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. I'm Rue from EliteLineSports. Uh, let's make some bank, man, and let's get into this slate. All right, so first off, to start off the day, again, I don't like this game. I really don't. There's the blowout factor with the Nets. Um, Last time we had MPJ his points, he had scored 21. His PRA hit. That was the pivot, but his points didn't. However, I'm going on the Magic side, and I like Wendell Carter's points. Wendell Carter points looks much more of a doable game for me. A doable prop that I would touch. I know you see the games here. The last 21 games of surplus, he has hit over 11 points basically, and 11 out of 21 points. Nets are bottom 10 at having a guard centers. Nets are bottom 10, bottom 2, bottom 5 when having a guard spot ups. The hit rate for similar players like Wendell Carter Jr. is 7 out of 10, 19% difference. Basically, they get 2 over the line, which is something that we like to see. Okay, so with them being bottom tier, having the guard, the center position, and with them being bottom tier, bottom 5, having to be guarding spot ups, which is what he does. My guy flourishes here, man. When Wendell Carter plays bottom 10 teams and having to guard the center, he hits his line 8 out of 12 times, right? Now, if we switch to spot up, 9 out of 15 times, he hits over 60%. When he plays bottom teams, I having to guard the spot ups. So with that being said, I'm gonna pivot off of the stars here. It might be a blowout game, and again, these trades are still going on. So that being the case, the Magic really didn't move too much, and the Magic might start handling BTA to the Nets. Nets have gotten demolished by the past couple of games. Lakers blowing them by like 40 at one point. So take Wendell Carter's points. Next up, we got the Pistons games, another blowout factor. You got the number 1 Eastern Conference team against the Wizards that's in construction of having to get better. Don't like this game at all, but if I'm going to touch somebody, it's going to be Duncan Robinson. I'm touching from the winning sides. Magic is clearly might destroy the Nets, so I'm touching the Pistons, and then I'm going with Duncan Robinson. Again, fading the stars here because the stars may not be able to play the entire game, but I think Duncan Robinson with the Wizards being bottom 10 and having to guard the position, the shooting guard position, and having to be bottom 10 and having to guard spot ups, and the hit rate of some of the players with Duncan Robinson getting 2 over the line, 25% difference, 11 out of 15. Duncan Robinson looks very good. He looks promising. His most points come from spot ups, transitions, where the Wizards are bottom 10 at. Okay? Literally, he scored 20 points against the Denver Nuggets. When Duncan Robinson plays against teams who is bottom 10, he's 9 out of 15 with his hit rate. Spot up now, bottom 10, 8 out of 15, over 50%. I like Duncan Robinson's points. The threes are a little bit too much here. I think just take the points. You could touch threes, but 3 3-pointers just seems like a lot. I know that they're bottom 10 against the threes. I did do the numbers here, 11 out of 17 hit rate. If you do want to pivot, but I'm not suggesting it. I'm just saying just take the point. Who knows? But I do like Duncan Robinson's points. Next up, we got Scotty motherfucking Barnes. PRA over 35.5. We nailed it yesterday. I had posted about saying that Scotty Barnes will get over. I think the line was 31.5 against the Wolves. And I said here to kind of disregard the numbers here. Don't worry about that. Scotty Barnes will get it. RJ Barrett is out. That kind of gives him a boost. Pirtle is out. Obaji's out. And I think just with some missing pieces and them being bottom 2, who is it that they're playing again? The Bulls are decimated. I'm just touching, again, I kind of stayed away from stars, but because I think Scotty Barnes does a little bit of everything, assists, points, rebounds, steals, blocks, all that, bro, I think he gets well over 35.5. When he plays against bottom teams, he's 8 out of 19. Having to hit his line, 35.5 is a lot. If you can kind of bring it down a bit, like teaser it down to maybe 32, 33, that's doable. I would say lock that in. But if you're a line toucher like me, 35.5, I'm gonna take that every single time. Yeah, man. So with that, I do like another person from this game is Jalen Smith. No Vucevic, no Kobe White. Josh Giddey is out as well. They're gonna be decimated. No Ayo Dosunmu. A lot of players are gone. Jalen Smith playing 19. They're literally close to bottom 10 and having to guard forwards and centers. They kind of make it. They kind of have to make it a little bit competitive here. If you kind of want to do a little bit of a same game parlay in here, this is not the same game parlay I was referencing. However, that will come later on in the video. If you have been here, I appreciate every single one of you guys. If again, same game parlay, secret, the whole thing is coming out. Like I said, I got a quick little 3 to 4 leg parlay for you guys. Stay tuned. Appreciate y'all for stay tuned. If you are still tuned in, like the video, man. Share it with your friends, subscribe, and let's get into it. Jalen Smith, I do like Jalen Smith though. They got to make it somewhat competitive. Without Vooch, he has gotten a major bump. He's played against literally the Bucks, who had good defense. He scored 16th, and literally when he played against bad teams who had bad defense against centers, he scored 22. No, he scored 13 on a 22 out of 30 defense. So without Vooch, and they have to get some scoring here somewhere, I do like Jalen Smith. Look for Jalen Smith to kind of get his points. They still have Buzelis. Buzelis looks good, but at the same time, again, the blowout factor is there. And I think that teams are going to focus, like the Raptors was all right at defense. All right, they're not the greatest, but they're all right. They can somehow disrupt Buzelis not having to get his points. So look for Jalen Smith to benefit off of that. Now, next up, we got the Hawks. I like Nickeil Alexander threes because literally the Jazz are bad at defense for everything. They're bad at everything. Literally, when they guard shooting guard positions or point guard, they are 30 out of 30. When having to guard the perimeter, they are 30 out of 30. All right, the hit rate for similar players like Naw, aka Nickeil Alexander Walker, 10 out of 15, 6%. Nothing too crazy over the line, but they've just been touching the line because his line is at 3.5 3-pointers. This is where I say you kind of bring this down to 2.5. I like the 3 because in the past 5 games, he's scored 5, 5, 3, 3, 3. But if you are bold enough to touch the line, which is at 3.5, aka 4 3-pointers, be my guest. But I have done the research. Anytime that he's had the line of 3.5, he has not touched it at all. In the past couple of games, literally he's not broken 4 3-pointers when the line was at 3.5 in the past 21 games at all. But 2.5 is doable, so I say teaser that down to a little bit to 2.5. 3 3-pointers do seem like a lock. Now I don't really like the points too much. That's bet 50-50. If you want to take the points, you can. You know what I mean? Just listen, they're bad. Like the Jazz are just bad at everything, bro. Like the Jazz is, I don't know, man. And they don't have Kristaps Porzingis. He's been out for a hot minute. So points or threes, I'm okay with. If you do the threes, make sure you bring it down to 3 3-pointers, not 4. And if you do the points is cool. But I guess you kind of do 20 points because 21 points just kind of seems like that hook is gonna fuck with you. So next up, we got Kneppel against the Rockets. And if you guys were paying attention to the Rockets game yesterday, I don't know what the fuck happened. They were favored so much without a Jaylen Brown Celtics team. And literally Derek White and Peyton Pritchard just shot the lights out. They done fucked them up, bro. I think it was going into the fourth quarter. They was up by like 25 points. And I couldn't believe what the hell I was looking at. The Rockets was favored by -8 points. So that was insane. So with that being said, I'm going to just keep going with the narrative here. If the Rockets, they are visited by the hot Red Hornets, who are on a 7-game win streak. I think close to 8-game win streak. They made some moves. They kept LaMelo Ball. They haven't moved them. They got some more players, but they're not going to start yet, but they're still hot. I'm riding Con. Con has been good. Look at the hit rate for similar players. Derek White, Pritchard, they hit over the line. Derek White's line was 18.5. He scored 28, 51% difference. Pritchard's line was 21.5. He scored 27. Naw line was 20.5. He scored 20. Maxey, Jordan Poole. So again, I'm riding it, and I know that they're top 5 in defense, having to guard small forward shooting guards like Kneppel, but that doesn't literally he's 5 for 12 when he plays against top 10 defenses that guard his position. You know what I mean? And I know, hey, look, they're top 2 in spot ups as well. I know, but Khan is too much of a difference maker, bro. I just think that this doesn't even make any sense. Like, I just think sometimes you gotta just throw these numbers out the way and sometimes just go with the narrative. You see what I'm saying? Now, I like the points. Just take the points, 18. If you want to teaser that down to a little bit, like maybe 15 to make yourself feel better, sure. But you are buying a lot of points because that's 3, and some of these books will tax you for that shit. So personally, I say just take the 18 and just trust the process. You dig what I'm saying? Next up. Now, if you made it this far, shout out to you, man. Give yourself a pat on the back because we got the same game parlay that I'm talking about. Actually, I'm taking a big jump to it because I want to show y'all some love. So check this out. I like the Lakers same game parlay game tonight. PRA, go with Luka. And I get it. He had 35 last game. Listen, they done smoked the Nets by like 40. There's no need for Luka to go crazy. Past 2 games against Eastern Conference teams, he's hit 61 and 53. Literally, the PRA hit rate looks good. Ryan Rollins, Jalen Brunson, Amin Thompson, Andrew Nembhard, Donovan Mitchell, they all hit their lines. Hit rate is 69%, 9 out of 13. They're not clearing this by so much. Just look at the average difference, but just come on, man. It's Luka. They're back at home. The Sixers, I do think that Joel Embiid plays, so that kind of makes this a very competitive game. In any competitive game, we can go Luka to get his PRA. Next up after that, we like Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey looks good. Hit rate for the past 21 games is 12 out of 21, 57%. Lakers are literally 25. They're bottom 5 at having to guard point guard positions, such as Maxey. When Maxey plays, teams who are bottom 10 at having to guard his position, he scores. He is literally 9 out of 14 when he plays bottom 5 teams, which is the Lakers. 4 out of 6 is 66%. So I think he clears that. The hit rate is 6 out of 11, but the average difference doesn't look too high. Just don't pay attention to that. I do think Maxey gets it going. Joel Embiid gets back in the lineup, and they kind of make this a very competitive game than what it needs to be. Not going Joel Embiid. Now, another player that I do like. Now, my just 2 legs that I done gave y'all. 2 locks, okay? Tyrese Maxey points, 26.5, and Luka Doncic PRA. Now, Kelly Oubre is another player I like. Without Paul George, Kelly Oubre's points has been skyrocketing. Look at the hit rate. Look at the average difference. The average difference, they're getting 1 to 2 over the line. Hit similar players is 9 out of 14. Average difference is 70%. OG Anunoby, Najee Marshall, Kyle Kuzma, Keldon Johnson twice. PJ Washington, Najee Marshall twice. Literally everyone but PJ Washington did it again. Literally, they're 29 out of 30 having to guard small forwards or power forwards, literally like Kelly Oubre. They flourish off of that. And when Kelly plays a bottom 10 team, he's literally hit rate is 57%, 4 out of 7. So you have a good percentage of having to get his points if he was to add it into the same game parlay. Now, if you don't like that, I get it. 15.5 is a little bit too thick. You might want to bring it down to maybe 14.5. You do have that option on some of these books, like such as FanDuel or DraftKings. You can kind of just buy that extra point and make it 14.5 if you don't like that hook, because that hook has fucked up a lot of people. Now, if you don't like that, threes is another thing I like. Hit rate is 5 out of 10, 50%. Average difference is 73%. They're just getting that. The Lakers are literally 11 out of 30. No, they're 19 out of 30, which means that they're close to the bottom 10 with having to guard the 3-pointers from the forward spot or just from any position. And when Kelly Oubre plays bottom 10 teams when having to guard literally bad 3-point teams that can't guard him, he is 5 for 9. And look at the past games, 4-3-3. So it's like, with that being said, I do like Kelly Oubre's threes. If you don't like his points, pivot to that. But if you do, just kind of add those 4 in, and those are my 4 locks for the same game parlay. Now, the last 2 legs here for the last 2 games that I have never covered. Cooper Flag, they just traded AD. PJ Washington is out. Brandon Williams is doubtful. Literally, they have no other person on this team that's going to score. I know the hit rate doesn't look too hot. It doesn't look sexy. But look at these past games. Ever since when Cooper Flag came back from injury, January 29th, he scored 49 against the Hornets. I get it. Bad defense, right? But they played against the Rockets, who is literally number 3 out of 30 at having to guard his positions. And Cooper Flag scored 34, way over the line. Then he played against a good Celtics squad. again, I know that they were ranked 16, but a good Celtics squad that could literally blow out the Mavericks, but they kept the game close. He scored 36. I think he keeps it going. I think he keeps it rolling. We're going to go with Cooper Flag. Literally take his points, 22.5, when he plays against the Spurs. And the Spurs literally almost got had against the OKC Thunder lost, didn't have most of their team. And it was a game. It was a blowout at first, but then the Thunder just kept going, man. They only had like 8 players. So, literally, I think the Mavs, with the visiting Spurs, the Mavs keeps it rolling. I think the Cooper Flag kicks it into another gear, maybe scores over 30 points again. So, he's on a hot streak right now. I'm going to take him. You should take him. And we got one more leg after that. Again, he didn't fail us. He hit his line way over the line last game. His line was 14.5. I'm going Colin Gillespie again. They're very much not liking Colin Gillespie for some odd reason, man. But Colin Gillespie is that guy, especially my guy at Villanova. I get it. Their top 2 are having to guard the P&R ball handler, but when he plays that, he flourishes. He's 56%. 9 out of 16 times he's gotten it. He's gone over 15.5. Look at the hit rate for similar players. They're getting 4 over the line, 34% difference. Hit rate is 73%, 11 out of 15. VJ Edgecombe, Dennis Jenkins, Isaiah Collier, Christie, Brandon Williams, Isaiah Quickly, Emmanuel Quickly, right? Jamal Shed, similar players like Colin Gillespie who take multiple threes, who take multiple shots. Literally, I like him to flourish off of that, man. Come on, man. Like, without being said, Colin Gillespie hit for us the other day. So take his points. If you don't like 15.5, again, I get it. The hook really might fuck with y'all. Take the 14.5. He's going to hit 15. And with that being said, that is my picks, my locks for the day. Appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in and always showing love and always giving them the thumbs up to the video. It does help the algorithm, helps us push out, helps us see that I'm giving out y'all some real good locks to a lot of good people who definitely need some money in their pocket because rent is due. You dig what I'm saying? That being said, I appreciate y'all for tuning in for another one, and then hopefully we cash again today. We win 5 out of 7 yesterday. Let's see how much we could go today. Without further ado, I'll catch y'all in the next one.